Today on Fox News at 4, the U.S.-Israeli conflict with Iran and the ripple effects now reaching your wallet. The White House revealing a plan. We've got your reporting coming up.
And then, should Alabama counties be allowed to merge school boards? Lawmakers say you should decide. We've got more ahead.
And we are tracking warmer conditions, but it's still a little chilly near the coast. That warm pattern should keep rolling on. We'll look at that and rain chances in your forecast coming up.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
Hi there. Thank you for looking in on this Tuesday. I'm Lenny Slagan.
And I'm Shelby Myers. We're glad to have you here with us for Fox 10 News at 4.
And first today, Israel saying that it's conducting simultaneous strikes in Tehran and Beirut as a coordinated U.S. bombardment of Iran continues.
Meanwhile, as Iran strikes U.S. targets and U.S. allies in the Middle East, the U.S. has closed its embassies in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, and Kuwait.
The attacks in Iran already being felt here at home with oil prices on the rise, though President Trump says he has a plan to help consumers at the pump.
Fox Business correspondent Connor Hansen has more.
As the conflict in Iran grows, gas prices climbed 11 cents overnight, pushing the nationwide average to $3.11 per gallon, according to AAA. By the end of this week, Gas Buddy predicts we could see costs jump by 30 cents.
I'm glad I put gas in today, at least. That'll last me about 2 to 3 weeks.
At the moment, no oil is being shipped through the Strait of Hormuz for fear that Iran could try to strike ships in the area. The waterway connects major oil and gas producers in the Persian Gulf to world markets and accounts for about 20% of the global supply.
We're also contending with seasonality. Gas prices going up because of refinery maintenance work, because of rising demand, and the transition to summer gasoline.
The conflict is also causing a surge in natural gas prices, which could mean higher electricity and home heating costs for Americans. Though President Trump says he expects consumers will see relief as soon as the action in Iran ends.
As soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
For now, the White House says it has a plan to ease energy concerns, oil tanker insurance support to ease Mideast crude shipments.
You will see us rolling out those phases to try to mitigate against that. We anticipated this could be an issue.
Higher oil prices could put pressure on inflation, and that could keep the Federal Reserve from cutting interest rates. On Capitol Hill, Connor Hansen, Fox Business.
The Archbishop of Mobile, Mark Rivituso, releasing a statement today. It reads, quote, "As tension and violence escalate in the Middle East, our hearts are in solidarity with all those suffering and living in fear."
He continues saying, quote, "May the Lord be present to all in their need and anxieties, great wisdom to world leaders and comfort for those who mourn."
Murder in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 2, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty.
Well, a Georgia man whose teenage son is accused of killing 2 students and 2 teachers at a high school has been convicted of second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Colin Gray also found guilty this morning of all other charges in the September 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School. Gray is one of a number of parents across the country who have now been charged after their children were accused of fatal shootings. Prosecutors say Gray gave his son Colt access to a gun and ammunition after receiving sufficient warning that Colt Gray would harm and endanger the bodily safety of another.
I was up.
New now at 4, Alabama voters could have the final say on whether schools are given the option to merge county education boards.
Lawmakers are considering a bill that would put that yes or no decision on your ballot.
Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro joining us from outside the State House. Jessica, explain the potential impact on Alabama's education system.
Right now, every Alabama county has to have their own board of education, but this bill could allow multiple boards of education to decide to merge with one another. These would be neighbors being able to merge with one another. There's a lot of steps before that could potentially happen, and all of those are outlined in this bill. The decision would initially be up to the participating boards of education if they wanted to create a singular multi-county board. The State Board of Education would have to study the potential impacts of that consolidation, including how it would impact students and educational quality. The bill sponsor says it could help reduce administrative costs for smaller, more rural districts, but not everyone agrees.
As a parent in a especially rural or small county, this might be the best way I know of to get more money back into the classroom for the students.
How are you going to justify the cost operation between two systems if you're going to still operate them as two different ones? Then I don't see what's the need of the consolidation.
Now, if a quarter of the impacted population decides that they're against this merger, they could put a petition together to trigger a vote where at least half of the affected population would have to vote in favor of this merger in order for it to happen. This bill did just pass in the past couple of minutes, and so we're going to have to see how it does throughout the rest of the legislative session. Of course, that is a lot of steps before we could see any type of proposed merger in any part of the state. Live in the State House, Jessica Umbro, Fox 10 News.
All right, thanks, Jessica. And as she just mentioned, the bill did pass the House, and it will now move on to the Senate.
A plan to build a Hall of Fame dedicated to Mobile's most accomplished athletes is taking another step forward. The City Council will dedicate $500,000 to this project, and our Brendan Kirby has more information for you. Brendan, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did, Lenise, and as you'll recall, the Mobile County Commission has already put up $300,000 for the project. The Retirement Systems of Alabama has offered space in the lobby of the RSA Battle House Tower for the exhibits. Right now, the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame exists only on the internet, but this is the vision: interactive exhibits highlighting a wide variety of sports from football and baseball to sailing. Today's City Council vote moves the money from one account to another, and next week the council is expected to approve the contract with the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. Mayor Spiro Cheragatis says this is a natural addition to the Hall of Fame walk in front of the Arthur Outlaw Mobile Convention Center. That features statues of Mobile area athletes enshrined in baseball or football halls of fame.
It's a great bookend to what we've done with the Sports Hall of Fame walk, all the statues. And this will, we want to create programming that will kind of lead people ultimately to the Sports Hall of Fame installation. It'll be interactive. It'll have obviously information about our Hall of Famers, other notable sports characters from our area.
Officials from the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame say they expect the installation to take about 18 months. Reporting live in the News Center, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
Well, let's take you outside on this Tuesday. Another spring-like afternoon in the way that it feels.
Yeah, the weather has been nice once again. We could get used to this, even see a light breeze out there. Jason, I know a lot of people were up early trying to get the different stages of that blood moon eclipse. Were you in that group?
No, I didn't get up to see it because there was a little bit of cloud cover and fog where I was, but there were some pictures that came in. A lot of people saw it. It was just really early for somebody who, gets home at like 11:30 at night.
Not you.
Yeah, so here's the deal. We've got a picture of it right here. Jason Isbell sent it in. We got, there's so many viewers that send in great pictures of this lunar eclipse, and it did happen. The question was, some areas it was obscured by cloud cover. So there's a look at it right there. And yeah, everything worked out okay for those that could see it. Orange Beach, 70 degrees, some clouds. Yeah, we got some clouds down at the beach right now. You can kind of see the situation there. It's so common to see this, unfortunately, in March and even April, where you got the cooler nearshore waters, you get the low clouds and fog. That's our Eastern Shore Toyota view. Let's look at a different one. In Mobile, less fog and cloud cover here, maybe a little bit of haze in the distance. We're at 71, winds out of the south at 11. So we're doing a little better. The further north you go, the better the weather is. Checking it out around the region, we do still have a lot of low cloud cover kind of mixed in, but there are some peaks of sun here and there, and temperatures are doing really well in the inland spots. It's not going to be cold tonight. We've got another night with cool conditions, but comfortable conditions into the overnight hours. We'll keep that southeast wind going for a little while longer. It should back off by mid to late evening, and then temperatures will drop down into the low 60s tonight. Guess what? Tomorrow, another beautiful day. We'll have low clouds and fog in the morning. That will get out of here. And after 10 o'clock, we should be jumping up above 70 degrees again, with daytime highs pushing 80 in some spots. We're going to break all that down in your extended forecast and also see about some rain chances by the end of the week.
All right, Jason, thank you. We'll be watching for that. We're also watching for this. Alabama is beefing up efforts to identify and eradicate threats to the state's honeybee population.
Okay, the Alabama Department of Agriculture working closer with the Port of Mobile to keep invasive species out of the state. They're doing this through setting multiple traps across port property.
Some will lure bees, which will be tested for any relation to the Africanized strains, as well as a type of mite that has decimated bee populations. Other traps will capture and kill the Asian yellow-legged hornet.
These hornets are a threat to the honeybee population, and they've already been identified in 2 East Coast states where they're believed to have entered through shipping ports. The traps are being placed this week in strategic locations. Inspectors say if a hornet is captured, the traps will help pinpoint where that nest might be.
Then we start to distribute them in directions to try to see the frequency, and then it's a spotting of the nest, which could be 90 feet in a pine tree. It could be underneath an overpass. So it kind of gives us indicators on what direction and the frequency, which will tell us how far we are away from them.
So far, there have been no yellow-legged hornet sightings in Alabama. There are some things you can do to help in this effort, though. We're going to tell you about that and why these hornets are such a threat to our honeybee population, coming up on Fox 10 News at 5.
Students in Orange Beach spending the day taking coastal protection into their own hands. Our Stephen Moody was there as the students were planting for the future.
Today at Cotton Bayou Beach Access, students weren't just learning about science, they were putting it into action. Orange Beach City Schools teamed up with Dune doctors and staff from Gulf State Park to host a Planting for Protection event. Orange Beach High School students were selected as mentors, guiding second graders as they planted native dune building vegetation along the shoreline.
It's so cool. It just kind of helps us teach the younger generation, like, just about the sand dunes, about their environment. It helps them reach out when they grow and, you know, just let everyone know, like, where they live around and how it's protective against, you know, storm surges and hurricanes and the things that just happen around here.
In addition to getting their hands in the sand, students also took part in short lessons led by park staff, fish and wildlife representatives, and coastal restoration experts, and they learned a lot.
I had a very good time, and I'm ready to plant some sea oats and help our animals and us be safe.
How sea oats are planted and how turtles and mice and other sea creatures live.
The goal was to strengthen coastal dunes that protect the Orange Beach community, and hopefully, when they're older, they can pass on the knowledge they learned here.
I hope they take away just knowledge about the community they live around and just the protection that they live under, and, you know, that they're always, you know, protected from storms and things, natural disasters that happen around here.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Shave it down. All right, we do have a little low cloud cover and some fog over the I-10 Bayway, but it's not a major problem with our Eastern Shore Toyota view here. And this is what we're tracking. Our situation on the roads looks great. Over to Grand Bay on I-10, no problems. I-65 northbound, east and westbound on I-10. Everything is looking good. Let's check out the Mobile area here, and a little bit of a medium flow right now around the tunnels, but that's not bad at all. The I-10, I-65 split looks good. No problems in Baldwin County. And going over to Pensacola, everything looks as it should. But the rush hour is around the corner. And we'll look at traffic again as we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour.
All right, thank you, Jason. Well, a monumental moment for healthcare in Southwest Alabama. USA Health Providence Hospital now offers ECMO treatment to seriously sick patients.
They were so excited when they talked about this on Fox 10 News at 4. And as you can see, a lot of people in attendance for this ribbon cutting. ECMO is the most advanced temporary life support machine. It acts as an artificial heart and or lungs for patients with life-threatening heart or lung failure.
It removes blood from the body, oxygenates it, removes carbon dioxide, and then sends it back into the body. There are now 3 ECMO machines at Providence. So now some extremely sick patients in our area have an extra medical option that might save their life.
It means our patients can, they don't have to leave, their families don't have to leave. We can offer immediate care when oftentimes time matters for these patients who their heart are failing or their lungs are failing. It's nice to intervene in an efficient and to not have to be transferred and to have the risks with transfer means we can stabilize people and allow them to recover or be more stable and transfer to centers that offer transplants or other advanced durable support.
Well, coming up on Fox 10 News at 5, you're going to hear from a woman who was on ECMO for 60 days in Florida. And that same doctor there who treated her helped to bring the life-saving device to Mobile. It's a full circle moment, and it's coming up in less than an hour on Fox 10 News at 5.
Looking forward to hearing that story. Ahead on Fox News at 4, Cell Phone Fridays, a new initiative aimed to keep seniors connected. I've got the information in yourdaily.com. First, a live look outside. Yellow flags at Orange Beach. Fun fact, going to the beach is pretty common, right? You do that over the summer and spring. But did you know beaches first became popular destinations in the mid-18th century and in Europe?
Well, listen to this. Dog food sold in 5 states being recalled for salmonella risk. The FDA reporting it is recalling a single lot of its 6-ounce elite chicken chips for dogs due to potential salmonella contamination. The FDA says pets infected may be lethargic and experience diarrhea symptoms. The recalled products have an expiration date of April 2027 and were distributed to stores in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. No illnesses related to the dog treats have been reported. Consumers are urged to throw away the affected products or contact Elite Treats for a refund.
In a world where there are reportedly more cell phones than people, a local center is making sure everyone knows how to use the tech. It's yourdaily.com.
Apple is expanding its lineup with a more affordable option. The iPhone 17e is expected to run about $600. And for seniors thinking about upgrading, the Baldwin County Council on Aging has something to help you make the most of it. It's called Cell Phone Fridays, where seniors can stop by the Council on Aging office for some free one-on-one help on everything from sending text messages, navigating applications, or exploring some of those newer features like the iOS 26's inline translation or improve send later options. And if you think you're the only one who could use a little help, you're not. Studies show 54% of older adults say they really need a better understanding of their smartphones. With so many different options out there to choose from, this program is built exactly for that. Now that's some tech you can use.
Yeah, and Cell Phone Fridays is every Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning until 11, and then again from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoons. The Council on Aging Center is located on Palmer Street in Robertsdale. Call to make an appointment.
All right, checking out our Eastern Shore Toyota view here from our Dolphins camp, downtown Mobile. It's a little bit of light fog in the distance over the cooler waters of Mobile Bay. And air temperatures downtown at 71. We're a lot warmer as you head further to the north into the inland locations. Checking out our satellite radar picture here, we do have a few scattered clouds across the region, and we are looking at the potential for some cloud cover this evening, tonight, low clouds and fog. Definitely possible. Here is your high-res futurecast here, and it shows the potential for some fog development through the overnight hours tonight, especially late. Some of the indications are that the fog may be a little thicker over the western edge of the forecast area tonight. We will also see low clouds and fog as we head into your Thursday morning. Here's that fogcast, and yeah, we are looking at the potential of fog that could be a little dense here. Chatham, Leaguesville, Lucedale, Pascagoula, and Mobile, but it's not going to be widespread. And the further east you go, kind of like this morning, the less fog you may see, as we got a pretty good breeze coming in out of the southeast. So that's something that will be going on in the forecast there, the potential for some of that fog going on in the forecast area. Visibilities are reduced across the area. We are seeing that going on in the forecast for early tomorrow morning. So how long will it stay nice and warm? I want to start out with our temperatures for tomorrow. And we are at 79 for a daytime high tomorrow. Look at the 80s here into the inland spots. We've got 83 in Leakesville and Calvert, 84 in Chatham. But the temperatures will be about 10 degrees cooler down near the coast. Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Navarre, Destin, Fairhope. Going to be a little cooler near the waters of Chattahoochee Bay and Pensacola Bay, Perdido Bay, Mobile Bay, and the Gulf and the Mississippi Sound. We have that limiting impact because those water temperatures take weeks to warm up. And so it's just tough to really get it warm near the beaches this time of the year. Looking ahead, when will we see any rain? Well, the first shot appears to start to materialize on Thursday, maybe an isolated shower in the area. We've got a real strong ridge that's trying to keep us dry. And then we've got a front which is stalling to our north and west. It looks like Friday, a pretty decent shot of some scattered showers. Same thing Saturday, we will see at least some chance of rain, even though it's a little more on the lower end. And on Sunday, there will be showers nearby. So this is a persistent pattern. We're going to start adding in a few raindrops here and there. Here's your 7-day forecast. We've got temperatures that will be at around 80 degrees each day. We're going to start sprinkling in some spotty showers by the end of the week. And the weekend, overnight lows will be above average in the 60s.
Well, it's the latest talk on the internet. Was it really Jim Carrey accepting his award in France? Or was it a look-alike? We're separating fact from fiction up next on Fox 10 News at 4.
Lexus of Mobile is proud to sponsor the Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance, sponsored by Lexus of Mobile.
866-496-4449 today. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Oh, it's time to talk about my favorite people. Not that we're friends or anything, but Spider-Man co-stars and Tom Holland and Zendaya are now married, according to her stylist.
Yeah, Law Roach says the 29-year-old Hollywood elites wed in secret. Rumors started swirling after Zendaya was spotted with a gold band last month.
It seems to have taken the place of that diamond engagement ring that she had on for the Golden Globes last year. Zendaya stars in Euphoria and Dune Part 2, but also some of the Spider-Man movies.
And Holland plays Peter Parker in the recent Spider-Man movies. Zendaya and Holland did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I did not read it, but I did see that her mother was speaking out.
Yes.
I don't know. It sounded like she wasn't happy that maybe someone leaked the news.
Well, I would think as a mom, you would want to be able to say that. And
for sure.
If you think about it, when they got engaged, they didn't say anything. She just showed up on the red carpet, and then when a reporter was interviewing and said, "Your girlfriend," he corrected and was like, "No, fiance." So that's when it was confirmed. And so now, with the gold band there, happy for them either way. They like to keep their relationship private, and good for them.
As they should. Okay, multiple sources are confirming conspiracy theorists are wrong. And actor Jim Carrey did accept his own award in France last week.
Okay, so some believe that a look-alike actually was taking his place. Jim Carrey's representative and the general delegate of the awards show both say no. The person on stage was indeed the comedian himself.
One source of rumors to the contrary is a post from a drag artist who's able to make himself look like other people. It shows a mask and a wig, and its caption reads, quote, "Alexis Stone as Jim Carrey in Paris."
Another cause for the rumors, Jim Carrey looked different than usual at the event. So I'm looking at these pictures and, I don't know.
Okay.
He reminds me of how he looked in The Mask. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Where he had that elongated and the accentuated cheeks.
I just think that if nothing else, you know what? Come out and say, hey, I got some injections and I got cheek cheek injections. Because that's what had to have happened, in my opinion. If it's not a fake, that is not what he looks like in recent years. He's had some facial changes.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
To be continued. Come out and say it, Jim Carrey. Okay, with the new Scream movie at the top of the box office, a new horror flick parody is on the way. I saw this, the trailer, when I saw Scream.
Okay, the latest trailer for Scary Movie is out now, filled with jokes and parodies of horror flicks, of course, like Megan, Get Out, Sinners, and more.
It is funny. I'm trying not to laugh. The Wayans family and friends are back in the latest edition of Scary Movie, the franchise, starring Marlon and Sean Wayans, Anna Faris, Regina Hall. It will come out June 12th, and I can't wait. Some of the parodies, they were just so funny. Megan, that movie, if you've seen that, about the AI doll. It's just, that's from Sinners, a spoof from that movie.
It's funny that you like this because you do like scary movies. You don't like comedy.
I know. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're keeping us on our toes, this one.
Next up, we're going to dive into the big breaking stories that we're working on for your most local news at 5.
And then we have this story.
I would say take that tax refund, sock it away into a savings account just for at least a week. So take a minute, sit down, and think through what your goals are.
Your tax refund on the way. Before you spend it, we have a plan so you can make that money work for you.
We're going to have that story for you when Fox News at 4 returns.
Brakes starting at just $100.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 News.
All right, let's take a look at what we're working on for your most local news at 5. First, chances are you noticed gas prices are a little more. Tonight, we are asking AAA what's causing that and if it has anything to do with this conflict in Iran.
Plus, new details about the man arrested in connection to a downtown mass shooting on Jokane Day. We're finding out he was involved in a different shootout 2 years ago. We'll explain. And Mobile's new arena reaching a major construction milestone. We'll tell you what's left to be done. Those stories and more coming up on Fox 10 News at 5.
All right, here's what we're tracking across the Gulf Coast, and we do have a decent looking pattern around Mobile, kind of a comfortable afternoon, really. I mean, who can complain about 71 degrees with our Eastern Shore Toyota view there? And we are tracking our weather pattern both here on television and on our free Fox 10 weather app. We've got an update on our temperatures for tomorrow morning. We look to have temperatures starting out in the 50s, but it will warm up quite a bit. We've got a more in-depth forecast with meteorologist Matt Barentine as well, and currently clear on radar. Here's the latest, our forecast for Pensacola tomorrow. We're going to start out about 60 degrees. The wind picks up in the afternoon and will top out only at 71. We're going to be 10 degrees warmer than this, probably about 10 miles north of Pensacola. But in town, it's going to be a little cooler because you got the breeze off of Pensacola Bay. It's limiting our air temperatures. In Mobile, we will see temperatures that will be considerably warmer. We'll start out near 60, but we should warm up into the upper 70s out at Mobile Regional Airport. It will be a little cooler downtown tomorrow, but I think at Mobile Regional, we will do okay. All right, looking around the area, you can certainly see with the southeast wind how these clouds are forming up over the land areas. We've got some low clouds over the Gulf too, but you can see these little streaks right here of fair weather cumulus clouds that are forming up with the heating of the day. And we've got some persistent low cloud cover too around Atmore and Evergreen this afternoon, but no rain. Futurecast keeps it dry as we go through the evening hours here. You can see it looks pretty good out there on the high-res model. We'll get some patchy fog developing overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. That should lift fairly quickly. If you have evening plans, our temperatures will be dropping down into the low 60s into the overnight hours tonight, but beautiful weather for the next couple of days. 79 on Wednesday, 80 on Thursday. Scattered showers may start to appear. Just a low chance Thursday, but we could see some scattered rain Friday. We'll talk more about your 7-day forecast coming up.
Round 3 of High Q will narrow down which teams head to the semifinals. High school teams across Mobile County are competing. Our Cameron Taylor, as you saw, is the quizmaster this year. And this morning, you had the first matches of round 3. Students answering questions in categories like history, math, and geography. At the end, 3 teams will compete for cash awards for their schools. There are also individual awards handed out. The matches included students from Faith Academy, Cottage Hill, MGM, Davidson, Satsuma, and Murphy. Faith Academy won the first match. Davidson won the other. The competition wraps later this month. It goes by fast.
Well, if you're like me, I keep checking my bank account to see if I've had a deposit. It's tax time, which means many of you, me too, will soon be seeing tax refunds in those bank accounts.
And some people don't get a refund. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Rachel DePompa is sharing some ideas from a finance coach. If you are getting a refund, how you can make that money work for you.
If you are getting a tax refund this year, you're likely checking your bank account each morning to see if it's been deposited. Before that money arrives, Cherry Dale, the Vice President of Financial Education at Virginia Credit Union, says have a plan. Also, before you spend a dime, she says when you get your refund, don't touch it right away.
It's exciting to get a tax refund, and I would say take that tax refund, sock it away into a savings account just for at least a week. And that can help you avoid impulse purchases. So take a minute, sit down and think through what your goals are.
Maybe you have a lot of debt, or perhaps you're saving for a down payment for a home, or you just want to get ahead on some bills. Dale says look at your budget and decide how you want to use that extra cash.
Do you have an emergency fund? Sometimes it's not fun to sock that tax money away for an emergency fund, but I guarantee if your car breaks down or your HVAC system breaks, you're going to love that you have a cushion to pull from for an emergency fund.
She says at least put 1/3 of whatever your tax refund is into a savings account, but she also says it's okay to splurge a little bit. Use part of it for a big purchase, a car, or for your vacation fund. But she says you also just want to think about it for a minute to make sure you're using that extra money in the best ways for you. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
An advocacy group finding more than 100 substances of unknown safety in foods, drinks, and supplements. According to an investigation Environmental Working Group released today, the problem comes down to what is known as generally recognized as safe ingredients. It's customary for companies to use scientific evidence to prove any new ingredient meets that standard, but it's not legally required. So that means manufacturers can determine ingredients are safe by themselves. Without regulatory review, consumers don't have unbiased proof the items are actually safe that they're consuming. The Trump administration has expressed a desire to close that loophole that bypasses FDA approval for new ingredients.
After a long and frigid snowy winter, we are springing forward. Daylight saving time starts Sunday at 2 a.m., giving people more daylight hours but less time to sleep. That seasonal change could have an impact on your circadian rhythm, and it could be a challenge if you already have trouble falling asleep. So readjust your sleep-wake cycle. Move back your natural sleep cycle, doctors say, by 15 minutes a day. Doing that 1 or 2 days could help. Set that alarm 15 minutes earlier every day and open the curtains to get more exposure to the sunlight. Doctors say people should also prioritize their sleep to maintain long-term healthy sleeping habits.
Well, listen up. It is World Hearing Day. Experts are using this as a time to raise awareness for hearing loss in children. They say it's more common than you might even think. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has the warning signs and how parents can help protect their child's hearing.
In the U.S., nearly 2 out of every 1,000 newborns had hearing loss in 2022. And while many of those are genetic, risk rises with age. One survey found more than 15% of children ages 12 to 19 have hearing problems.
Your hearing when we're babies is going to inform how we develop our speech and communication, how we communicate, how we develop language. It's also directly tied to how we're going to learn and academic achievement and how we socialize.
That's why Marquita Murkison with the American Speech Language Hearing Association says parents can help detect hearing loss early by watching how young children respond to speech and sounds. Can the child identify the direction of a sound source as they learn to talk? Pay attention to how many times they ask you to repeat yourself or turn up the volume on the TV or radio, or if they complain of their ears ringing or buzzing.
If you're starting to notice that certain speech sounds aren't being produced correctly, that's also an indicator that there might be some hearing loss there.
Murkison says noise-induced hearing loss is preventable, so watch the volume on things like toys and headphones. She says to keep it at 50 to 60% of the maximum volume or less, and to take listening breaks, as well as use hearing protection when around loud noises.
Make it normal, just like you would never imagine backing out of your driveway without putting your seatbelt on. You wouldn't go to the pool without putting on your sunscreen. You don't want to be around loud noises without having hearing protection.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A great-great-grandmother rhino getting spa-like treatment, and then a stuck sailboat gets abandoned on a beach. That's a lot to talk about on today's Take a Look at This.
For the alerting you first all morning long. Fox 10.
The spring pattern is here with comfortable temperatures in downtown Mobile. Our Eastern Shore Toyota view here from our Dolphins cam looks good. A little bit of light fog all over the bay, but winds out of the south at 11 miles an hour, 71 degrees. We got partly cloudy skies going on this afternoon. In some cases, maybe even mostly cloudy at Escambia, Conecuh counties, northern Escambia County, Florida here. A little bit of thicker cloud cover, but a lot of us are seeing partly cloudy conditions. No real rain around. There is some moisture in the air, but it's not to the point that we're getting anything significant in the short term. Fog could form up in the morning, and then taking it forward into Thursday morning, same thing, maybe a few isolated showers mixed in on Thursday. Checking out our fogcast for tomorrow morning, we are thinking that the best potential for fog, the greatest potential for fog, is going to be over the western half of the forecast area. Leaguesville, Lucedale, Pascagoula, Mobile. Visibilities in the morning at around 6 a.m. near a half mile. We'll see less fog over the east side of the area, more like partly cloudy skies for places like Pensacola and Destin. And then as the morning wears on, again, the fog could be a little stubborn over the western side of the area, but the eastern side of the area looks to be more fog-free for tomorrow. So that could have some impact on your morning drive. You can always check out our morning show with meteorologist Matt Barentine. He's going to be tracking any fog that's going on in the forecast area tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s for our daytime highs tomorrow near the immediate beaches. Chilly almost in Destin at 70 degrees, but then you go just a little ways inland and a daytime high of 79 in Crestview. 81 in Bay Minette, much different than that 74 in Gulf Shores. And so the water temperatures are having a big impact on our weather pattern this week, and it's keeping it cool south of I-10, but north of I-10 we're going to see 80s, and we could even see a difference from, say, 70 in Destin to 83 in Evergreen. That's a huge swing. 84 in Chatham tomorrow, really warm air. Looking ahead, starting Thursday, we may see a few isolated showers in the picture. As we take it into Friday, same thing, maybe a few stray showers around, scattered rain. Same thing Saturday. We're going to be right on the edge of a big significant wet weather maker to the north and west, but our local area, just scattered showers to isolated chances. Temperatures around 80 each day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and some scattered rain mixed in. So temperatures are not changing, but rain chances are getting added into the equation. Right now, it looks like rain chances are about the same both Saturday and Sunday, mainly spotty afternoon showers.
Well, Starbucks is ready to spring forward.
The company launching its seasonal lineup. You've got chai, ube lavender, and coconut flavored beverages.
In addition to the new choices, Starbucks is also bringing back its iced lavender cream matcha. Later this spring, Starbucks will unveil its new iced mango cream matcha.
More on the menus available at Starbucks online. I actually I didn't know that they were launching this spring menu, and I stopped by there today and had one of those drinks. Which one do you think it was?
I want to say that one right there, purpley one, lavender.
I had the coconut cold brew. It was really good.
They look good. They sound good. Do they smell good?
I don't know. I got cinnamon on top, so that's what I was smelling.
Okay. All right, well, there's nothing like a day of being pampered, even if it's at the zoo.
An elderly rhino too fragile to roll in the muck is now getting a spa-like mud treatment delivered by hand.
Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
Watch a great-great-grandma rhino get a spa day-style mud bath treatment. That is one weird headline that shouldn't make sense, but according to Australia's Werribee Open Range Zoo, all of it is true. This is Make. She is a rhino, she is a great-great-grandmother, and she does get mud bath treatments by hand these days, courtesy of zoo staff. No, it's not because she's bougie, it's because as an elderly rhino in her 40s, unlike more youthful members of the herd, she's no longer physically able to roll in the mud herself and get all of those hard-to-reach places. Known as wallowing, many animals engage in this behavior to protect their skin from the sun, manage parasites, and keep themselves cool. But Make is special. This golden girl gets her grimy gloppy glow up with none of the dirty work. Well, stuck in the muck is the root of a pricey problem officials in Florida likely didn't have on their bingo card, but it's one they are facing nonetheless after this big beached boat was seemingly abandoned. Back in January, Flagler Beach firefighters rescued a family from the boat after it lost power and nearly capsized. No one was hurt, but the boat became beached, and according to WKMG, the family has surrendered ownership to the state, essentially leaving the vessel behind. Now the city is facing a bill of at least $42,000 to get the marooned eyesore removed. Until then, the sand-socked schooner is staying put. But hey, at least local looky-loos are happy.
I think it's amazing to see that, and it reminds me of growing up and watching Gilligan's Island.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, coming up, we're going to introduce you to the 6-year-old who's already read 1,000 books. You go, kid. That's more than the average person reads in their lifetime.
Time to shop. It's time to save. It's the Rooms to Go anniversary sale going on.
When was the last time you picked up a book?
My devotional, does that count?
It does. Pew Research says the average American reads about 12 books a year. For me, it's probably a little more than that.
I would say so. You're a reader for sure. Yeah. Well, Local News Live Caroline Hecker introduces us to a Missouri 6-year-old who's shattering that statistic one page at a time.
You'll learn a lot from reading this book.
Inside the Florissant Valley Library branch,
I like this one too.
a familiar face lost in a sea of books.
And do we have that one?
Paw Patrol.
6-year-old Malachi Henderson and his mom Angel spend hours combing the shelves, something they've done together since before Malachi could walk.
I think I really like this telescope one right here.
Angel, determined to make sure Malachi shares her love of reading.
I grew up in a home where we had books and we had things to read, and we were always at the library. And I always saw my mom reading, and it was just very inspiring to me at a young age.
Ooh, let me read it.
So when Angel was pregnant with Malachi, she began reading to him.
My afro.
That continued as an infant, when she learned of the 1,000 books before kindergarten program at the St. Louis County Library.
For every 100 books they read, they get a sticker.
The program offers this booklet, carefully tracking each and every book read. The more books you read, the better the prizes get.
So if we can get children excited about reading and thinking that it's something fun that they want to do when they're young, then they will keep striving to read as they are learning, even if it is a little bit difficult.
Childhood literacy is a critical predictor of long-term academic and life success. Studies show third graders not reading at grade level are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. Low proficiency in reading can lead to lower income, higher incarceration rates, and poor health outcomes.
Biscuit wants a kiss.
Malachi joined the 1,000 Book Club last summer before kindergarten.
Biscuit is small. Biscuit is yellow.
His reading and language skills already putting him on the gifted track in elementary school.
Reading is the foundation for every other subject possible. And that's why it was always important for me, for Malachi to know how to read. Like bunnies and sheep and pigs.
Malachi and his mom now share that passion for reading.
But I sneezed the great sneeze. Achoo!
Always making room for a new book on the shelf. In Florissant, Caroline Hecker, First
Lives every day. Register now at mcpss.com.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
We don't import any fuel from Iran, any oil from Iran, but a lot of other countries around the world do, including China and India. If their flow of oil gets disrupted, it's going to cause prices to go up because the availability will be less.
Gas prices seeing their biggest daily price increase in more than 2 decades. We're going to take a closer look at what's driving that surge.
And we're learning more about a man charged in connection to a mass shooting on Joe Cain Day and his involvement in